From attempting to illegally trademark the word pit in order to protect a map stolen from Minecraft, to SypherPK being exposed for using the same predatory practices he called out others for abusing, and even ongoing botting scandals used to inflate player counts that Epic has ignored for months now, starting with the controversy of the Pit map. The Pit is a Fortnite map that was created by Gearsy on April 19th, 2020. The gameplay loop is fairly simplistic: loot up, jump into the pit, and fight other players. Despite that, it has remained one of the most popular maps since player data metrics became public in 2023, raking in generational wealth for Gearsy. But in March of 2024, a creator named Leoxy tweeted about how their ranked pit map had been taken down. No emails, no warnings, or any kind of notice, just deleted. A few days later, he found out that it was Gearsy who requested a takedown notice from Epic, with his tweet on the matter garnering an insane 2.3 million views, which led to big creators like Sypher responding and rightfully calling out Gearsy. Through this, it was learned that Gearsy literally filed an inquiry with the USPTO to trademark the phrase "the pit," which, given that it is a generic term, makes it illegal. His LLC, Second Gear, was also incorporated in the Cayman Islands, so definitely not shady. But somehow even worse than both of these is the fact that the pit wasn't even his idea. The Pit as a concept is a game mode that was released on Minecraft's most popular server, Hypixel, on February 26, 2018, where, you guessed it, you dropped in, fought players for gold, and purchased better gear with the gold you earned. The drama escalated so much to the point that even the owner of Hypixel, Simon, responded. Simon commended Gearsy for bringing the success that was the Pit to Fortnite, but also expressed his disappointment with how Gearsy lashed out at other creators for making their own. In the end, Epic Games stepped in and reinstated the map, saying that the Pit is a game genre that others should be allowed to build on, but this is only one controversy with Gearsy's Pit map, as SypherPK pointed out that the map was also using predatory practices in order to farm likes and favorites. In Fortnite, you can set a map as favorite to have it easily accessible to you at all times. Generally, the more favorites a map has, the better it performs, so of course, creators found a way to manipulate this. In Gearsy's Pit map specifically, the at the time new Mythic Thunderbolt was strategically placed right in front of the like and favorite board device, meaning that if you tried to interact with the Thunderbolt, you were prompted to like and favorite. And while most people watching here may scoff at it, this type of misleading practice works to boost maps, as his map went from the number 8 most favorited to the number 1 in the span of just 2 days after implementing this. Sypher proceeded to then call out the next 2 most favorited maps for doing the exact same thing. However, just last month in June, Sypher got called out for doing the exact same thing. On his newest Fortnite map, Go Garden, the exact same setup of a valuable item being locked behind a like and favorite trigger was used, and just like with Gearsy's map, the trick absolutely worked, with the map seeing an explosion in favorites around 12 PM on June 19th. A few notable map makers called out the hypocrisy, and unlike Gearsy, Sypher responded with maturity. He took responsibility for the mess and clarified that the map was made by a third party, and that it wasn't his intention to promote predatory practices. While the apology was accepted by many, some individuals had their issues. Are you really that detached to your collaborators? Makes me wonder how detached you are from making your own YouTube videos. You probably don't even review them before publishing, you just get a third party to do it for you. But if you want to support a creator who does 100% of the work on their own, then click that subscribe button to help me out. Additionally, other map creators chimed in saying that Epic shows clear favoritism to big name publishers like Sypher, saying that they don't action them when they violate terms of service. But SypherPK wasn't the only big creator to get away with Creative Map TOS violations, as shown by the Harris Walls campaign map released on October 28, 2024. The gameplay loop involves spawning you into a subway station, where you are then prompted to spend a $50,000 tax credit to create a small construction business. Then you essentially just went around the map collecting materials to build new houses with, an obvious nod to the $50,000 small business tax break that Harris promised if re-elected. While some people were pretty neutral to the idea, it received tons of backlash on social media. What the fuck timeline are we in? I'm telling you, it all started with Harambe. Others cited the futility of campaigning on a platform where most people aren't even of voting age. As one writer for Business Insider put it, one player who remained unmuted appeared to be a coughing child. The map saw a pretty disappointing peak of just a few hundred at launch, but the biggest controversy came with who made it, Click Creates. Click Creates is a subsidiary of Click Media, an agency owned by popular content creator Muselk. Political belief shit aside, maps like this are against Fortnite's terms of service, as stated in line 4.3.5. Your island must not include solicitation to participate in real-world political organizations. Despite that, the map seemingly flew under the radar, maybe due to its lower player count, or maybe due to the aforementioned favoritism shown to larger creators. But given Epic's record of not actioning this specific line of TOS, such as when the British Army made a map, it is probably the former. But one thing Epic were quick to action were the various Squid Game maps. On June 22nd, the Arabic Squid Game map that peaked at 70,000 concurrent players was taken down, likely due to official asset use. But then a few days later, Epic took down all the top maps. This is likely due to the fact that ahead of their collaboration with Netflix, they released a bunch of official assets for players to make their own Squid Game maps, with the release date of August 14th. Meaning that for a month and a half, Squid Game maps won't be allowed to exist. While Epic was perfectly justified in doing this, it still stirred lots of controversy. Genuinely no idea why they would make the publish date that far away. 48 days to basically be allowed to use build prefabs is actually insane. The Squid Game tools in question are a few small devices that we already have / anyone can recreate in verse. For now, the maps remain deleted, and we will see if the 48-day wait ultimately kills the trend. Though, this is nowhere near as bad as what happened during the Rainbow Royale 2021 event. Like a lot of companies these days, Epic Games holds special events in the summer months to celebrate LGBT pride, but during the inaugural event in 2021, the creator of Pro 100, one of Fortnite's biggest maps, made comments that were not received well, saying that, quote, "I am not a fanatic, but it is against nature." While the comments he made weren't that bad, his tweet history showed a completely different story. Seriously, you can't even defend that. As a result, his map and creator code were both revoked. A few hours later, he came out with a half-baked apology that nobody in the community really accepted. But then a couple hours after that, he came out with a much more thorough and professionally written response, which was strange given that Awa didn't speak much English. It was later revealed that another map creator had reached out to Awa and offered to write him an apology that he could copy-paste as a twit longer, and it is because of this new copy-paste apology that his map was reinstated. This was unprecedented as Epic almost never reinstates creator codes, with huge creators like Sway and Clicks permanently losing their codes for much less severe offenses. While Epic never made an official statement as to why they reinstated the map, the answer is obviously money. Pro 100 is a money printer of a map that makes millions of dollars, and Epic employees themselves have even acknowledged this in private Discord DMs, but one thing Epic employees don't seem to acknowledge is the issue of botting. In an article written by content creator Duos with Dad, he details his account with one of the many botted creative maps. Despite the map, named Winter Gun Game, averaging 600 players, he could never find a lobby with a single player. When taking a look at their daily player charts, he noticed that there was very little fluctuation in player counts. Normally, any map or video game in general has natural oscillations in player count that follows a natural day-night cycle. After trying to queue for the map on all regions, he finally struck gold when he queued on Europe. Once in-game, he was met with a lobby filled with AFK default skin players, all with generic usernames. Despite all of them recording playtimes upwards of 3.5 hours, they all had 0 kills and 0 damage dealt. While this is the most well-documented instance, other posts on social media have also documented encounters with botted maps. While a lot of these maps do end up getting banned within a month of creation, it makes you wonder if any of the top creative maps in the game did this to initially boost popularity. And if you want to learn more about other creative map controversies, subscribe and check out the videos on your screen now.